edge where the cold winds blow. Truth runs deeper than the stories they told. Cowboy Criminology, ride the line. Getting to the truth behind true crime.
Hey everybody, Derek Judd, the Cowboy Criminologist here with Cowboy Criminology. Want to say hi to all the members of the Cowboy Criminology crew and hope everybody's doing well. So we're in part 5, the final part of the series, where Alex Cox's wife, Zulema Pastenas, is talking with police in Chandler, Arizona. She's with her attorney. There's 2 detectives with her, and parts 3 and 4 really started to pick up. We were a little slow to start, but parts 3 and 4 really started to give us some real insight into group dynamics, into how Alex fit in with everything. Zulema, it's starting to seem more and more certain that she maybe kind of got swept up in the emotion of this, the spirituality of this. But it seems like even going back to part 4 of this series, that Chad and Lori recognized that she was a weak link, and so I think they did a lot to try to misdirect her, and try to keep her somewhat subservient. So we're going to pick it up here at 136:42, and we're going to finish up the interview and see what other interesting facts come to light. So here we go. Everybody seems to be using her as an intermediary. Actually, I'm going to stop there at 137:06. They're using her as an intermediary, and in a lot of situations like this, there's one person that's close enough to the inner circle, but out on the periphery that she doesn't have any real knowledge or anything. Surely it seemed to her suspicious that everything kind of funneled through her, and they were using Zulema as their own personal switchboard. But she had also mentioned that Lori and Chad had told her that the detectives were a dark presence, they're bent on destroying them, all of that stuff. And I think when you're in a group like that and you're surrounded by people who are professing faith and you're trying to belong, where do you draw that line from professing your faith to saying we're on a completely different wavelength? This is not what I believe. And I think that doubt is exactly what has kind of kept her from keeping her as a key witness instead of turning her into an accomplice. Still think it's a great idea that she has an attorney there. There seems to be a lot of things that sometimes the detectives' questions aren't clear, and I only understand what's being asked because of my background. But not everybody's going to have that experience. Not everybody's going to have that knowledge. Okay, this is what's being asked, and she's not being deceptive. She's just not criminally sophisticated enough. Not saying that she's a criminal, but criminal sophistication, knowledge of criminal justice and procedure to be able to recognize what's going on. That's why the attorney's there. So 13706.
That was on the 5th of December.
On the 4th.
Oh, 4th.
And
Okay.
then Alex asked me for it on the 5th.
Gotcha.
And then on the 6th, I remember he went and got pizza for all of us to have dinner. And then on the 7th, he went to Mexico.
Okay.
And came back sick.
I was just doing follow up on that. Did you have any more?
Do you still have some?
No.
Yeah, Zulema, we appreciate it. I know you hate to talk about this stuff, and
I want to help.
and we appreciate it, and that's why, I don't know what the defense plan is going to be with Chad and Lori. It could be that they try to throw everybody else under the bus, and they try to use different things or say different things. That's why it's super important if you can remember anything. That way we can get out in front of it before defense has a chance
Get it. And
to get it and
Jared
court
knows
on the
that.
stand.
Your
So
attorney knows that right now.
we just want to make sure that we're crossing our T's and dotting our I's with everything. That way we can come out in front of it.
Mm-hmm. You guys, I still have those pair of scissors in my house, right?
Okay, total new question. So we're gonna stop there at 13902. What role do the scissors have in this case? Like I said, I'm seeing all this for the first time, so I'm trying to kind of piece things together. And obviously, this has already gone through trial and sentencing, and we're into appeals now. So there's a lot of places I'm starting behind the eight ball. But she seems to think there's something nefarious about those scissors, or at least the motive for getting them. If you know what the point of the scissors are, put a comment in there and let me know. Uh, it seems like they mean a lot to her, but the detectives don't seem to like they know about the scissors, but they don't think they're germane to the case. So I'm just there's a discrepancy there that, due to my lack of knowledge, I can't rectify. 13902.
Oh, Lori's
Lori's
scissors.
that are $100 and something or 300 and something.
$1,000.
Oh, I was way up. Scissors. But yeah, like Ray said, we appreciate it.
I always have that feeling that there was something really nefarious about her giving me those scissors. I still do.
And she gave them to you when she came home from Hawaii, right? When you met him and
When they had just gone back for getting married.
the layover or whatever.
Yep. And for some strange reason, in my mind, because I'm trusting people, in my mind, I was like, oh yeah, she can't take him on the plane with her, so And then my daughter said, Mom, she just got off of a plane with him. Why couldn't she take him?
So at 140, well, you know what they say: ask and you shall receive. So the whole context, she was able to get him on the plane the first time, but wasn't able to take him back on the second time. What was the significance? And yeah, I mean, the daughter was spot on. It's like that something's not right, and it looks like we're getting to where the detectives are going to. They're like, maybe we should take a look at this. So let's see what they have to say here. 140 even.
Well, let me do some checking. Maybe do you want them, or do you?
I don't want to have anything to do with
I mean, maybe we could just.
It's just really, it's so bizarre. Why would she hand me those things? It makes absolutely no sense for her to
I
hand
wonder
those things.
how she got on the plane with him in the first place, and then didn't want him to go.
Did
on
she
another
check
plane.
bags? Do you know? Because they could be in check bags.
Oh yeah, I guess it could.
If there was a check bag, or it could have been missed. Lots of possible explanations.
And the other thing that I remember that I was telling Garrett was that when we were in Vegas, I don't know if you guys knew, but Alex was a massage therapist, and my back was bugging me, and after the trip there in the car, and he said, he's like, I'll just give you a massage and just fix your back. I'm like, okay. So, but for some strange reason, this is really weird. Like for some strange reason, at the time, of course, I didn't think anything of it, but now I'm like all creeped out about it. He said that we needed to find a Walmart because he wanted to buy this big, huge piece of plastic to put on the bed so the oil didn't get on the bed. But it was one of those ones that you put on the floor when you paint. Okay. And we went to Walmart and we got it and he put it on the bed.
And this is when you were in Vegas?
When we were in Vegas, yeah, like the day after we got married.
So you put it on the bed.
Yeah.
And he gave you the massage. And then what
and
did you do with
the weirdest thing about it was that, and this is when it gets even weirder, because after that I fell asleep. Okay, because I was so relaxed after the massage. I was so relaxed, fell asleep, and then I remember waking up. I was in and out, and I could hear him talking, and I was like, "Who's he talking to?" And I kept like trying to wake up, and finally I'm like, I made myself wake up, and I'm like, Alex. I'm like, who are you talking to? He's like, nobody. I was talking to myself. I'm like, okay. So then I remember I took a bath, and I said, let's watch a movie. And he was on his phone, I think playing his game or something. And he was like super quiet. It was totally eerie for Alex, because Alex usually he was like joking, and he would say something and he would find one way or another
I'm
to
gonna
make
stop it there. 14305. The laying on the plastic. I mean, I guess that makes sense. You don't want to get oil on the mattress and everything. But there is a connection to some type of plastic. I believe that's what the two children were wrapped up in. Uh, but the shift in demeanor. Who was he talking to? And keep in mind, like, this is all happening in. I think she said this is all happening in Vegas. Um, that's just that's odd, and maybe it made him think back to something he did. Um, who knows? But yeah, that is a very weird detail, and you can see the detectives are kind of like, well, this is you know, just because it's interesting doesn't mean it's pertinent to the case. So you gotta be careful about that. So 14305.
to a joke and make it funny, and like he was always making you laugh and laughing at himself or making a joke about something, but he said nothing for the rest of the evening. Nothing.
Well, that's really weird. That he had you lay on plastic.
So maybe I'm just a
Oh,
little too crazy now because of all the stuff that's happened, but in my back of my mind, I keep thinking that who was on the phone was Chad and Lori, and that was supposed to be my last day, and he was supposed to.
And it very well could have been.
so now here at 14325, I'm starting to wonder: did he drug her? Was he supposed to kill Zulema? What was the because that rapid switch in demeanor is definitely an unsettling switch for somebody, especially if they're characteristically up and laughing and joking. That's very that's very telling right there. Uh, yeah, I think I'd be freaked out about that too. And now she's wondering if that was supposed to be her last day. And some people might say, well, the detectives are coaching her to try to, to try to believe something that maybe wasn't true. Um, I think just in the context of the investigation, I mean, could you really put it past anybody? I mean, I certainly wouldn't. Uh, just wild. Wow. It's interesting watching her have these revelations about, if she had been any more involved, who knows what would have happened to her. Oh, we'll pick it up here at 143.25.
When you woke up, did you feel like, did you feel normal? I mean, did you feel like, when you said you were in and out of consciousness, like you were trying to wake up or you didn't feel right?
Like I was really down, like I was really, really like one of those ones when you're like trying to wake up and you can't wake up kind of thing. Like I was thinking, why am I so relaxed and I can't wake up kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Did you feel drugged?
Drowsy, like just I was kind of like really like drowsy. I was like, what?
What time of day was it?
In the middle of the afternoon.
Did he give you anything to drink before that? Or make you a drink or fix you anything to eat?
I mean, I remember us going to get something to eat, and then we came back to the hotel, and I remember we did have some drinks with us, like, you know, I don't know, maybe I might have had like a, no, I didn't have a Red Bull that day. I had something with me, might have been a water or something, I don't know, with me. And I always use the little cup, and I didn't like to use the little glasses, so I always had my glass with ice and whatever it was that I was drinking at the time.
So did he give you a massage? I mean, did you have oil on
Not enough
to use?
Warrant the drop cloth.
to what a drop off, you know what I mean? It just didn't. At the time, I had no question about it. Now I'm like, why would you necessitate a whole drop cloth all over the bed to give me a massage? That just doesn't make any sense to me at all.
Hmm. So did
And then the fact that he was quiet for the rest, that he said nothing, like nothing. He was quiet, and that's so not Alex. Alex is not quiet.
so did you ever say? Did you ever ask him like, man, why did we need all that or what?
No.
And so you heard him
No.
talking to somebody.
And I believed him, and he was talking to himself. You know, at the time. You know what I mean? Trusting him completely.
And that was right after you guys were married.
The day after.
144.26. That loss of fine detail, uh, that could have been because of GHB. That could have been because of uh, or something similar to GHB uh, being placed in there. Missing out on like broad picture, she's able to recall what happened, but those minute details, the inability to wake up, being in and out, that's that's a very consistent description of somebody who had been slipped GHB. Um, that's terrifying. And now you can see the wheels in her head turning, trying to think of, man, what else was there? Pick it back up here, 144.26.
Yeah, it's really weird.
It is super weird.
It's super weird, especially because he wasn't talking. And I even asked him. I said, "Hey, I said, are you okay? Like you're so quiet. You're usually not quiet like this." He's like, "I'm just tired." I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, I'm gonna leave you alone then, so you can rest. So I left him alone. He didn't say anything else. So I ended up watching a movie for myself. I was like, he was on his phone during a game I think he was doing.
And it's little things like that that we're super interested in. So if anything like that comes to
Whoa.
you again, something that you may think is super small, please let Garrett know, or
We'll communicate it to you for sure.
That was super weird.
let us know. Yeah, just little things like that that help us put pieces together. Was that the only time that happened?
Yeah.
Had he given you massages before?
No.
Okay.
Did he since then?
That's wild.
No.
So that was the one time he offered to give you a massage.
When we would get together, sometimes he would come and he would put his fingers on my neck and go. He would say, "What is it with you people? With you translated people that have such big, stressful shoulders or something like that." He would say that, but I wasn't the only one that was receiving it. He would do it to everybody else, just kind of like relax my, the neck. And then when we got back from Vegas and we were at my house, sometimes in the mornings I have a really hard time waking up, and then in the mornings I would like turn my alarm off and just sit there trying to like get up. And I remember he would like rub his finger like up and down my back and go, "You can get up, you can wake up," kind of thing, like kind of waking me up, and not a massage like he did that day.
So when you woke up from that massage, did you feel like you were way too groggy than you should have been?
I was super. I thought, I'm like, oh my goodness, he's like must be a really good, massage therapist, because I am so relaxed right now. Like I am, like so relaxed. Like I felt like, like when you get out of like the sauna. When you get out of the sauna, you're like so relaxed, you could actually take a nap. That's what I felt.
So you didn't feel out of it.
No,
it was just relaxed.
Very relaxed. Yeah, like super. That what was really weird though was that in and out that I had when I was laying on the bed, because I could hear him talking and I was trying to wake up, but I kept going back down, and then I kept hearing him again talking, and I couldn't discern what he was saying. I could just hear him talking, and he was in the bathroom talking.
Is he the kind that talks to himself much?
Well,
147.47. So the attorney did a great job clarifying that, which helps kind of distance her from any type of illicit activity. It's like, well, did he give you a massage before that? Well, no. Has he given you a massage since? No. And you can see it on her face, like, okay, yeah, that's really weird. And so great catch by the attorney there. Yeah, I'm starting to feel for her. I mean, just being in this situation and not, you're getting asked these questions, and then all of a sudden you're starting to bridge the gap on why these questions are important. That's a terrifying position to be in. But we'll pick it up here at 147.47.
really. Not like that. Like he was actually having a conversation. Like he sounded like he was having a conversation.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when I talk to myself, I'm always like, say one thing or two things or
Maybe I'll go to McDonald's for lunch.
Yeah, something like that. But
no,
no,
that's because it's Wendy's. You have this. Yeah.
He was having like a conversation.
Okay.
So it, now of course putting all this together and processing after,
Stop
over a
there,
year, I keep
148.15.
thinking.
He's a massage therapist. You're his wife, and the entire time y'all were together, he never gave you a massage except that one time in the hotel room where he draped the bed with plastic. Wow. 148.50.
Thinking that he was actually on the phone with somebody when this was happening. There was no way that he was going to necessitate a big old drop cloth for that bed to give me a massage.
When you guys got married or prior to get married, did you guys talk about insurance or life insurance or did you add him to anything or did he add you to anything?
No, that I know of. I know a couple people have asked me that too. But I wasn't the one that I wouldn't have had any knowledge of that, but Lori would.
Mm.
Because Charles was in that business. So.
We're here till Saturday, so if you want to give us those scissors, we'll be more than happy to take them off your hands. We can just lock them into evidence.
Okay.
If you
In
don't,
and out.
Yeah, if you don't want them.
No, I don't.
We can take them from you.
You don't need meetings, bring them by here anytime. It's important.
That would be great.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be here till Saturday morning.
Yeah, I think so.
So anytime between then would be fantastic.
Yeah, that's not a problem. Yeah, I'll just bring them over because I think tomorrow is my report day, so I don't have any cases tomorrow, so I'll just drop them off sometime tomorrow. Maybe I'll
Awesome.
just
Nice.
do
Cool.
make it into my lunch hour so I can get a nice little break from
There
being
you
in
go.
the computer for
Enjoy the
15
nice
hours.
warm weather. Zulema, do you have any questions for us? Anything we can answer? Anything at all?
I have a lot of questions.
Well,
A lot of questions. I have a question on these people's sanity.
Got to get those phone records.
I was asking myself whether it's because these people are insane or because they're just led by evil,
Good question.
Now I'm putting all the things together. I just really, more than ever, at the beginning I had a feeling that they had a really nefarious plan to do something to me and to Alex, or that we were the final piece, that I was the final piece to move to Rexburg, and I feel that, by the grace of God, I didn't move there. And I always feel that kind of like dodged the bullet by not moving there, and if I would have moved there, things would be very different today.
probably.
I always thought, and now more than ever, I think that they had, and of course the question is in my mind about, was Alex being true? Was he lying? Was he being told to do what to do? Did he really have a relationship with me because he just was following what Chad and Lori were telling him? You know what I mean? All that. And at that time in Vegas, was he supposed to kill me that day? Was he being instructed to do that? And I always think like, okay, he couldn't go through with, killing me, but then it's a possibility that he would have gone through to kill himself. So, all that, I have a lot of questions.
That's a lot to weigh on your mind.
It's a good question.
So.
Well.
And I'm sorry I can't remember much of that night Alex passed away. I just don't, I can't even put what happens first and what happened that time at the hospital.
Okay.
Can't remember much.
Well, questions or you wanna reach out or something, you go through Garrett or.
Always.
You still have my card?
I do, yep. I've got you in my phone. So, I mean, I have the card, but I've got you in my phone, so it's better than the card. That's it. Cool.
Okay, well, thank you again.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys. Good to see you again. I'm
Yeah,
glad
well,
you guys
you
got
too.
to
Good to
enjoy
see you.
April in Phoenix.
Yeah. Well, and you got us to go see a Diamondbacks game. So
Yeah.
we're-
Next time you
Oh,
guys
doing
gotta go to
good.
the pool.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys still on track for July?
I'm not sure. Probably not.
Yeah. We were talking about that. I said I would be surprised if it went, but
All right, we'll stop there at 1:55:45. So, wow, that's just. I think the most interesting thing about this series is watching Zulema kind of gain these insights into what her actual role was supposed to be. Um, man, the revelations that came looking through this interview. Um, it's interesting. On Cowboy Criminology, we spent a lot of time looking at pointing out deception and everything. It's something of a refreshing change of pace to see it play out in a different way where somebody is trying to be honest. Um, there's a lot of food for thought in this series. Uh, I hope you find it useful. I hope you find it engaging, thinking about all these different things. Uh, it's interesting. Normally on Cowboy Criminology, we're looking at suspects, and here we're looking at a witness, and uh, I think the detectives. There are a couple of things that I would have done differently. I discussed those in the video. Nothing really that they did wrong, or nothing I'd say. There are just some things that I might have expounded on a little more. Um, I think they eventually got to the same place, but I would have kind of gone deeper with some of her after she answered. I would have asked more follow on questions, but yeah. So that's Zulema's interview. I think this is like the third or fourth time they talked to Zulema, and it is important. It's important to see those holes in the case and talk to the person who can put those holes in context, so it doesn't look like to a jury that the prosecution's trying to hide something. So, anyway, that wraps up Zulema Pastenas. And my name is Derek Judd. I'm the Cowboy Criminologist here with Cowboy Criminology, and I want to wish everybody in the Cowboy Criminology crew a very safe week, and y'all take care.
Out on the edge where the cold winds blow, truth runs deeper than the stories they told. Cowboy Criminology, ride the line, getting to the truth behind true crime.